I look at models, when I think about models, I think about there are three classic models. The first classic model is the one that I am a card-carrying member of, I am a fan of. I've plied my trade in, I've run agencies in, I've run sales floors in, the classic traditional 360 model, where there is then what I call the double 180, which is where we have someone that's totally focused on business development on the front end of that model, and we have someone totally focused on resourcing on the back end of that model. The third model is the classic American sales pod, the classic American sales organization taking us back perhaps to, I guess, the 90s, maybe even the 80s, if you like, which we're seeing a little bit of a resurgence in, which I'm seeing more people wanting to talk about, which I'm having more conversations about of late. So the triple 120 effectively looks like, for those of you guys that do tech sales or understand tech sales, so for me, these are the three classics. Now, what I'd like to do is perhaps pass some commentary around these three classics and perhaps give you what I feel might be the best model that we can look at. You need to think about not only with the model that you're running, but you also need to think about it if you decide to change the current model that you have and move towards something different.
In today's world, it's too hard to find candidates who want to work with us, who are doing a 360 role. It's too hard to get them, it takes too long to develop them. We need them to use systems and processes to the nth degree. It's a way more complex world than it has ever been. And we're asking people to sell products and solutions for the majority of the time. Any business that's trying to survive doing ones and twos, as the market, if it twitches, and it's probably likely to in some way, shape or form, they will fail.
Every single thing we did in terms of a project, task, SOW, we had white papers that were written in stages across the whole project. So every time we got to a point of hitting a critical success factor and getting paid, they had to give us a reference point. So at that point in that chunk of that contract, they had to tell us how well we've done, mainly because we're in the public sector. If you complete a contract, do really well, and you turn around, I don't know, we did it and turn around to areas that were given notice to improve, to put them on what was a run rate for good, they'd take it in-house and go, right, we did this, and the private sector, and if it failed, blame us. If it was successful, they'd take it. So we would then get all of those success points and those references, and that would help us leverage new business.